Yeah, Palantir going crazy. Shorting a little Rigetti over here. Got to look at the Merck earnings. Does most work in the market? Yes, it does. Very cool. So we have most, and most is telling us, well, Palantir is the number 1 traded stock so far this morning. Rigetti is number 3. So this is still not dying. PayPal and Merck. Let's look at gainers. Palantir, something called BingX, which I'm not sure what that is. A couple biotechs. Grab and Spotify up a bunch. Kingsoft up again. Dyne, really interesting biotech. Pliant, which I don't know. Pliant Therapeutics, Supernus. Okay, losers, PayPal, some biotechs. So $1 billion of Palantir is traded so far. Berkshire usually doesn't trade, but there you go. Invivyd and Tesla, $500 million of Apple, $500 million of Merck, PayPal, $250 million for Spotify, and then there's $100 million of Rigetti is already traded, which is pretty wild if you think about it. Civilization 7 is coming any day now. They should halt the markets for that. Shorting some crypto here, some of the weird ones. SPX, Fartcoin, something called Baby Doge. I mean, this stuff is stupid. Peanut is that squirrel that they stole from that guy. It's such a rotten, stale meme. That's such a good short. Like, why would you buy a token related to Peanut when you could buy Palantir or something, you know? Thanks, everyone, for subscribing. I'm almost at 75,000 subs, so just click that subscribe button so I can get to that amazing milestone. Thank you. Yeah, SPX 6900 is actually my biggest short. Why is Merck down? I always thought Merck was a bit of a dog. Who's Murad? I don't know who that is. My biggest meme coin short. Yeah, I look at Canadian stocks. I don't care what country a stock is in. Subcutaneous. 𝗬𝗢𝗘𝗢. Maybe they can pull a switch off. I doubt it. Wow, huge 𝗬𝗢𝗘 number, actually. Terrible Gardasil number. That must be it. Gardasil's disappearing. The Laker trade was incredible. What a wild situation. Okay, WinRevere came in line with my expectations. Everyone makes fun of Luka's weight. So the first triple-double he just got in LA was like 2 burgers. Love to see those 2 guys play. How do you guard Luka and LeBron? Yeah, Luka's conditioning, quote unquote, is the problem, I guess, people are worried about. I think there's going to be a bunch more celebrity meme coins, so that dilutes the rest of the meme coins. I'm not sure about MicroStrategy's taxes. I'm not sure it matters that much, honestly. Don't know about AMD. Don't follow it too closely. I'm mostly direction trader, so it's rare I'm fully delta neutral. But I mean, certainly part of my Rigetti and 𝗂𝗏 position is delta neutral, but it's a net short position. But you could think of it as there's a short position there and then there's a delta neutral position there if you want. I wouldn't say Rigetti is holding better than other quantum stocks. They all pretty much have the same chart. Bill Gates said Jensen is right, but we also don't need anybody's opinion. We could just look at the machines right now. They just don't work. No, still working through earnings. Yeah, but we have good compute now. We know what it looks like. So Quantum has been trying to sell the quantum promise for a really long time, and it just doesn't add up. Barely looked at Merck, let alone anything else. Yeah, it's like NMR. You know, NMR is really unique. Yeah, I've tried deep research. Yeah, there's not much you can do. It's just, you know, the nature of the beast. Short more if you can. Yeah, these are all scam companies. You don't have to own either Quantum or Nvidia. 10K Rigetti stocks. Why do I not believe you? The dot-com bubble hurt a lot of people too. It was very tricky to time and tame. Gotta take the little wins you can. Like IVVD. IVVD is up double from yesterday. Halfway house. Is this a halfway house? And penthouse, halfway house, same thing. I mean, you only can see one room of this apartment. It's not that modest. Okay, quantum coming back down a little bit. Yeah, you're looking forward to quantum computing for what applications? The application is to get the stock up so you can make money. That's the primary application of quantum. My old boss was funny. He was like, Martin, they've been pitching quantum computing since the 90s. My boss ran one of the biggest tech hedge funds. It's just a question of like a couple of quarters of bad results. The stocks go to 2. Did you see D-Wave took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal? I mean, what kind of company does that? What's the utility of quantum computing? Encryption, decryption, optimization. But what are we using these for? Why can't we use NVIDIA? I think quantum is the best short in the market, next to meme coins maybe. You don't like my quantum computing pick? Did you like Sava? Were you long Sava? Are you a baggy? Do you like to hold bags? You like to buy stocks when they're at 52-week highs, right? And you just read about them on Reddit. Quantum's bigger than AI? How's that? You got to explain. Where? Which application? Because I can't get it to factor 15. Numbers bigger than 15. Do you want to come on here? You want to come to Discord? It will break Bitcoin. So why is that valuable? Even if that were the case, why is that valuable? Breaking encryption is... Oh, my food's here. I'll be right back. Breaking encryption does not mean that it's worth anything. What's the QC threat? I don't think you understand the first thing about cryptography. I've studied cryptography my whole life. You understand that RSA has to come to an end, right? RSA has been... Integer factorization has been what we've been using for 50 years. It'd be very weird if we stayed on integer factorization for another 50 years. We have plenty of time to go to quantum resistant cryptography. It takes 2 seconds. So it renders the quantum computer obsolete. We don't have quantum safety now because the quantum computer can't factor a 5-digit number. You got to factor 200-300-digit number. And the progress in quantum computing, it's been taking 5 years just to double the amount of qubits. Anybody with half a brain sees how safe we are from quantum computing. It's probably 20, 30 years before they can crack anything. Yeah, with lattices, there's no way to break lattices with a quantum computer. If you can't factor a 4-digit number, how are you going to factor RSA 2048? Look, face it, you bought some stock, you don't know a lot about this stuff, you don't know anything about quantum mechanics, you don't know anything about compute, and complexity. You just want the stock to go up. That's okay. You don't have to act like you know something. Yeah, we need gate fidelity that's like 5 to 10 nines. You can ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT, when will we get some of these quantum milestones? The ChatGPT's telling you the truth, man. Trust ChatGPT. He's a lot smarter than you. He studies hard. He's not like you. I'm short Rigetti, and I'm short 𝗙𝗏𝗏 in pretty big size. I'm also short Peanut. That's right, Peanut the squirrel. I wish I was kidding, but I am short a large amount of Peanut the squirrel. You don't have to ask ChatGPT. Ask Claude or ask Llama if quantum computing can factor a 5-digit number. GPT said 2040 to 2050. That's if they just make steady progress. Eventually, these companies will go bankrupt. People will quit. You guys make money on IVVD? Congrats. You're welcome. You saw me buy it live. I know a lot of people in the quantum space, very senior people. There's nothing that a quantum computer can do right now that's faster than classical. No, not even close. The price could do whatever it wants, right? That's a bubble. In a bubble, the price can go up interminably. And look, I've been wrong so far, but I will get paid. Well, Peter, so far the growth has been very sub-exponential. The amount of qubits we've added to these systems has actually gone slower. The rate has the second derivative has turned negative. The progress has actually stopped. And then with fidelity, progress is very, very slow as well. So it's pretty ugly. I'm not saying it'll never happen. I'm very excited about quantum computing conceptually. Logarithmic? I don't know. I don't know if you know this, but the biggest machine IBM has is 150 qubits. Their 10 qubit machine was 5 years ago. So you're getting in one log order every 5 years. You think that's good? We might as well stick to Moore's law. Yeah, IBM punted their 1,000 qubit box. IBM said they would have launched 1,000 qubits this year. And I said, maybe next year. Oh man, bell curve. You're having a mental breakdown. It's like very useful to know who's long Rigetti, because it's like, obviously you're like some new investor and you may have like $5,000 or something, but some of us are pretty serious investors. It's obvious that like the average quantum computer person is just, they've got 10 grand in a stock. They're praying that it'll make them rich, but they're buying the stock after it's already gone up. A couple got lucky and bought it on the way up, but it all ends in tears, just like every other bubble. Say people that bought shipping stocks, 3D printing stocks, .com stocks. It does take time for them to start dropping. We did that math. Yeah, VKTX is such a dog. I think it was like 90 days and it was like 1 year before they dropped 75% from peak. It depends, Igor, on the size of the RSA bits, but most people would say 2n logical qubits. Maybe we want 3n just to be safe, but say 2n. So if you can break RSA 2048, you need around 4,096 qubits. You know, you could round up a little bit. But then you need possibly as much as 1,000 physical qubits for every logical qubit with error correction and whatnot. People in the investing world know simply Bs. So it's not like people don't talk about it. Mainstream may not talk about it, but it's like what do basketball insiders talk about? I talked to some basketball people from the NBA, former NBA champs and stuff, and like the way they look at basketball is different from the way I look at basketball because I'm not an insider. I never played in the NBA finals. And, you know, but I know investing. And the way I talk about investing with some of my friends is very different from the way the average person may talk about investing. I've been programming computers my whole life, and my girlfriend is a quantum expert. We can't get them to program to decrypt a RSA 6-digit number. So trust me, I'm going to be sitting there waiting, you know, on every bit of the quantum, you know, advancements for this reason. My girlfriend TA'd for the guy that wrote the textbook on quantum computing. Like, we know the space really well. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a long time. Bell curve guy, you're not even worth talking to, dude. You remind me of some of the Sava guys. This is like your first investment. But I don't think we're going to be able to use quantum for crypto for 20 years. I actually think there's other ways that are more useful, more fruitful. Yeah, but you got to understand if you can break a big RSA number with QC or a big ECC pair, then anybody else can too, right? I mean, I'm one of the bigger customers in these quantum computers. Literally, I know how many job queues there are on these quantum machines, and I'm like a substantial customer of these machines. It's just a bubble. Yeah, Bitcoin will migrate to a new standard. I am asking IBM for a refund. I think they overcharged me. Yeah, I mean, I was losing money on Sava too. Georgia Tech fan. I don't give up. You give up because you took a little loss? Oh, I can't lose money in my portfolio. I only make winning trades. I've never made a losing trade, ever. Sometimes you have to be wrong before you become right. That's how shorting works. It's very hard to time it perfectly. If you can time every trade perfectly, I would be, you know, I bow down. You're Steve Cohen. Congratulations. Every time you enter a trade, you get it perfect. You know what? You're the king. You're the king of trading. It's got to be a little patient. Jesus Christ. Instant gratification is not available in the stock market. Part of what attracts us to shorting biotech is that you often do have a termination event. There's some date where the trade's going to be over one way or another. In other shorts, you don't have that. Ultimately, it was the lack of earnings that crashed the stocks. Where for a long time, it was pretty easy to tell the story that, oh, America is going to be as big as tobacco. Well, that sounds pretty good. You know, how do I buy these stocks? Okay, well, what's going to happen next? You know, well, it's going to take some time for, you know, these companies to ramp up their production and so forth and so forth. But eventually, people get impatient and they say, well, where's the production? Where's the earnings? Where's all this money we're supposed to be making? But yeah, the squeezes can be very painful. I think it's probably a mixture of competition, tariffs. It's pretty easy to grow. Look, Palantir looks a little overvalued, but I'm probably still not interested in shorting it. I shorted some Rigetti this morning. I shorted at 1409. It wasn't the top tick. Not even close. That's how you pay for theta. Trade around some call options as well. I'm not your friend.
𝗤𝗩𝗑𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
back. So, and the options. So when the options get a little overheated, I sell some, and then when it comes back down to reality, I buy them back, and I've replaced my cost of some of the theta. Like if you look at the call, like the Rigetti 14 calls expiring this week. So I bought these yesterday, and they were trading for around 50 cents. I bought a bunch of them. It went to $1.75, and I sold a bunch. Now I get to buy them back for 50 cents again. And I've basically gotten a chance to take some of my theta spend down. Yeah, bell curve, just from the way you talk, we know that you're not like an investing expert. Like it's fairly obvious. So you're like, no offense, but we've seen a lot better, a lot smarter people. It's pretty obvious you're not somebody who's been investing a long time. I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, it's just the way you talk is obviously you're not somebody from Wall Street, or you haven't really been doing this. I mean, that's what Wall Street is, where professionals go to make money. If you're good at investing, you go to Wall Street, you make billions. You don't sit at home on your Robinhood. People will give you money to manage. Wow, I mean, the advantage of being on Wall Street is you're managing other people's money, so you can make a huge fee. Imagine you manage $5 billion and you double it. You get a bonus of $1 billion. You don't even have to have any money yourself. Yeah, you need a degree to go to Goldman Sachs, of course. You want to work at Goldman Sachs, they're going to let you manage a bunch of money because you're some anon on the internet? I don't think so.
Order cancelled.
5 years trading Fartcoin in the trenches. That's what they say now in crypto. I'm in the trenches, bro. You're trading $600 trying to make it 60,000 by buying Peanut, the squirrel, who was sadly murdered.
Order partially filled.
The market's going to crash. It's so obvious. It's just a question of when and how. When will it happen? I mean, companies like Palantir are doing so well that they're going to be late cycle. It could be next year. I could be wrong. Well, a company doesn't exercise warrants, right? The investors do. Palantir is pretty large commercial business now. They're not all government. Don't be scared to get to the money at all times. I don't know why, but I love that Rick Ross video. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, what is he talking about, get to the money? What does that even mean? Yeah, I'm about to do Pfizer soon. QUBT is hilarious. That's the biggest scam. I mean, it's literally some person's like, I want exposure to quantum. This thing is called Quantum Computing Inc. It's got to be good. Chance Rigetti closes below 10 is probably close to 0. But I would love that. No, Kev, that's usually what breaks, right? That's what usually breaks these bubbles. People stop worrying about their speculative stocks. They worry about paying their rent. See, when the squirrel gets shot, I think, there we go. Late December, squirrel gets shot. Here's how it's done since. Squirrel shot, stock shots, coin shoots up. It hit 250. Can you imagine being the guy that bought it at 250 and just 2-3 months later it's at 20 cents? Like the stupid coin came out probably the day of. Peanut is not a value investment. Down and out of favor. I buy when nobody else wants to buy. Look at Bowden. Bowden went to a 1 million market cap. Geo Bowden. Do you remember Geo Bowden? 1 million market cap. COVID vaccine still sold 5.4 billion in 2024. Paxlovid sold 5.7 billion. Pfizer wasn't wrong. It's definitely sticking around. I guess nobody believed GHRS. I thought the data was really good.
Order filled.
Kara Swisher, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Player Hater of the Year award. This philosophical argument in the chat is so stupid. Look, Tilray. Yeah, let me show you. Let's go. Let's pull up this Rigetti. AMC. Okay. AMC split adjusted is at 625. Okay. Today's stock price for AMC is $3. Okay. So you're telling me that the guys that bought AMC on the way up to 625 are smart because they knew enough to get off at the top, but the stupid money was shorting it, even though they were inevitably right. It's like saying the people who bought any of these junk, they all had run-ups at some point. Every single one of these. JDSU went from 600, 700 to 10, but first it went from 10 to 700. So, if you can make trades really successfully, that's good for you. But, that means you're going to make money on any stock. Buying bubbles is for most professionals' perspective, it's not something you want to try to do because you're going to end up with what happens here, which is you lose everything. Better to buy a good company like Palantir than try to buy a Ginkgo, JDSU, dry shipping was the hottest stock. Nobody buying dry shipping could be considered a good investor. Now, again, if you're really good trader, good for you. But that's like saying, look, I bought Bored Ape NFTs, 128 ETH. At one point, there were 5 ETH. Are you brilliant for buying Bored Apes at 10 ETH? No, you're not. It's a mixture of lucky and stupid, because the ability to time a bubble is very, very rare. Very few people have that kind of skill. You keep saying that phrase, but it doesn't mean anything, because in the real world, you want to find an identifiable, repeatable skill. If your skill is, sometimes I am able to predict bubbles, that's not really a skill. If you can predict movements in the stock market routinely over long periods of time, you'll make a lot of money. And it'll show up in your Sharpe ratio and stuff like that. But, in general, smart money looks at these things as shorts, and they end up being great shorts and being great alpha. So imagine you're working at Tiger and your job is to manage $1 billion. And you say, I want to buy 50 million bucks of Nikola. This is that fake auto car company, right? And Nikola goes up 10x. Then it goes down 99%. If I'm your boss, I'm sitting there saying, okay, whether or not this guy got out with a profit or not, is this guy stupid? Is he buying the worst stock on the planet? This guy's a liability. Why didn't he buy a stock with promise and progress and growing revenue and an exciting business? He's buying junk. Junk rallies in a bear market, and in a bull market, junk is the best. That's the old saying, cash is trash. And in a good market, cash is king. Now, that's just not how it works, Georgia, because that guy is very unlikely to have a good P&L in the long run. He's going to fall off a cliff the second the market turns. Now, again, if he's the best trader since sliced bread and he times everything perfectly, that's Steve Cohen. Good for you. There are people who did. Jim Cramer was like that. Jim Cramer was extremely good at it. But I think most money managers, most investors want to find somebody who has a repeatable, scalable skill. Identifying a bubble and shorting the bubble is a repeatable, scalable skill. You can't get carried out. And part of that is about risk management. I mean, these arguments are not logical. Many people are saying is not an argument. There's plenty of hedge funds that are up 25% last year. Third Point was up 25%. If you're a good investor, you buy good companies and stocks go up. You short bad companies, their stocks go down, and you make money. That's it. Look at Sava, look at Galt, and then look at some of our longs. It's not that hard. IonQ is going to go down 90%. It's just a question of when. It's not like it's rallied 30x or something. Maybe it's doubled, but that's nothing for a good short. Some of these shorts, I was talking to my old boss who was a Tiger. He was at Tiger in the 90s. These stocks would go up 10x in your face. Michael Burry. You must be a kid. Yeah, and that's why you're also diverse. I mean, IonQ might not work for you, but it should be 3% of your portfolio, not 300% of your portfolio. If you made a list of Wall Street investors, Burry wouldn't be in the top 200, I'd say.